Right, broskies, we are back and it's Bank Holiday Monday. I'm not over the 2-2 draw, the Arsenal and Fulham match. Torture, if you will. It was a bit of a euphoric game. Obviously, the comeback from being 1-0 down to 2-1 up to drawing the game 2-2. Now, we did deserve to draw that game. Possibly, maybe nick a win in the end, looking as an overall match, performance, willpower. But there's a lot of things we need to fix, and Arteta has to take the blame for this. I'm not going to blame players because Arteta brings in the players to fit the system and everything else, and we are jumping the gun a bit. But welcome back to another episode of Weekly Waffle, and we are reviewing, obviously, the game with Fulham, the 2-2 draw. Maybe some other games we'll look at too, but yeah, sit back, relax. It's going to be a long one because I've got a lot to talk about, a lot of grieving, sort of like a therapy session, if you will. But anyway, let's get started. Now, we're on the Arsenal website. Of course, the match report, it obviously says 2-2. Don't need to remind me, bruh. But yeah, obviously Saka got the penalty. But let's start from the beginning. From near enough like kickoff, if you will. Saka gives the ball away. I'll be honest, I missed that bit. I was shaving. I was sorting myself out. So I didn't actually tune in until like the first 10 minutes. Didn't expect that to happen the way it did. But I was watching a watch along. Shout out to Curtis Shaw. Legend, bro. If you're ever watching this, we got to do something. But yeah, he had a meltdown. I had a meltdown watching him have a meltdown. But yeah, Pereira scores near enough from kickoff when we gave the ball away. Don't know what Ramsdale was doing. This geezer was doing the hokey cokey, mate. I don't know what he was playing at. But look, it was one of those things happened against Bournemouth last season. But it just looks like why? Like, why did it happen? Because last year you could say the pressure was on in terms of winning the title. This year, it's like, what's going on? Is it new season jitters? Is it like maybe self-sabotage because we're overconfident? I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyway, going back to the actual match, of course, it was 1-0 to Fulham very early on. Then it just didn't look like it was working out throughout the whole game. Odegaard didn't look at his best. It was pouring down rain. Not an excuse, of course. Thunder and lightning, the rest of it. Obviously, I'm in North London now, so I could literally hear and feel the weather as I was watching it. One player I do need to talk about, and I feel is to our detriment. And another player I need to apologise for giving him a hard time. I do. But first, we're going to start off with Havertz. My brother, can we get a refund, please? Chelsea, what the hell have you done? You've scammed us again. You did it for Willian, Petr Cech to an extent. And now this geezer, mate. Honestly, what is it? 65 million we got him for. It looks like a scam, bruh. It looks like I've bought the original fakes from Turkey thinking it was real. I don't want to mock it too much because I have been wrong in the past in terms of criticising players, very early on in their Arsenal career or footballing career, and they're going to prove us wrong. But this does not work. This whole system of playing what looks like a back three, Partey dropping in to make it a back four, obviously leaving the whole Rice, Odegaard, and then Havertz as a midfield. Havertz looks like a little lost lamb, Honestly, it's like he doesn't know what position he is. I don't know what position he is. I don't even think Arteta knows what position his best position is anyway. It's just one of them things. Like, he's basically playing the Xhaka role, but basically not knowing what to do. Like, the silly mistakes he was given, the passes, like the body, what's the word? The body language. The body language of this guy. It's like he woke up thinking, oh, mate, have I got to play another one already? Like, just stay in bed, mate. Just stay in bed. Because the moment he came off and Nketiah comes on, Fabio Vieira, bro, I've got to apologise, man. Like, I slated you in pre-season, even said you had to go on loan, like missing the penalty. I have to, listen, if I had a hairline, I'd take my hat off to you, because wow, he literally came on, gave the energy. He set up 2 goals, I believe. He got a penalty for one. Yeah, he got a penalty for one, and he set up a lovely goal for Nketiah, which he did come on and gave us, you know, it was that point proven. Like, a lot of doubters, he was dropped for Trossard, which I didn't understand why. Like, if you're going to bring on Trossard, take Havertz off. Like, what? It looks like favoritism, or the fact that you spent so much money on a player, he has to fit the bill no matter what. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so obviously Saka scored the penalty for Fabio Vieira's foul, which it definitely was a foul. He looked lightning. I was nervous Saka was taking it because Odegaard took the last one. A bit annoyed because everyone has Saka in their FPL. I've got Saka, but no one has Odegaard, and I've got Odegaard. So if he scored that, it would have bumped me up a few places. But anyway, he scored, amazing, made it 2-1. And then a silly corner, which didn't even look like a corner at the time, from what I remember. Paulinho scored. Paulinho's Paulinho, man. I think Liverpool's been linked with him. He's an amazing defensive mid, man. He's a really good player, like, honestly. But it's sort of like the stark contrast to how we played against them away to last season. Like, at Craven Cottage, like, we turned them over. I think it was 3-0. Could have been easily 5, 6, 7, 8-0. And it's looked like we just looked shell-shocked. And I don't know what it is. If it's this new system, leaving Gabriel out again. Like, what the... Bro, Arteta, has Gabriel done something? It's a safe space. You can tell us, you know. I had to sell Gabriel because of you, Arteta. You've cost me a lot of points on FPL already, mate. Honestly. But anyway, obviously, Gabriel, potentially him coming in for the United game makes the most sense. Kivior didn't have a bad game at left back. Obviously, Tierney's gone on loan now. Timber out injured. Tomiyasu was banned for last game. But I think we need to go back to basics. Now, a lot of people have said this, like Gary Neville, you know, some other pundits, but it's obvious, like, all on Twitter, all the Arsenal accounts that I follow, we're all thinking the same thing. Like, why are you trying to fix something that's not broken? Like, it don't make sense. Saliba and Gabriel, possibly last season, had the best partnership in the Premier League before Saliba got injured. And now you're trying to fix something that's not broken. Like, it don't make sense. You're all trying to fit in Havertz. Now, I could be eating my words like a few game weeks down the line, but bro, at the start, just steady the ship, you know, just steady it. They had, I fully forgot about this. Like, this geezer got sent off as well, man. Like, Eddie, he was so lively. He got the geezer sent off, you know, being in on goal, getting him a second yellow near enough, I guess, because there was a man covering. But Calvin Bassey, he was obviously second yellow, got the first one for time wasting, second one for taking out Nketiah when he was through on goal, technically on halfway line. And yeah, it was just like, how did we not get these 3 points? Like, we see City on the weekend, Haaland misses a penalty, still scores a goal, makes it 1-0. Then Sheffield 1-1, and then they still dig out a 2-1 victory. And they're away, bro. And they're away. But anyway, man, that's basically what I wanted to talk about. Now, I didn't really want to go through all the, you know, interviews and that sort of thing. I just wanted to look at the stats, I guess. Okay, so we are on Sky Sports News, and we're going to go to stats because it speaks for itself, you know? I know stats don't win you matches 99% of the time. That was a stat. I know, that was good. But anyway, possession-wise, 71.1% to Arsenal, 28.9% to Fulham. Total shots, 19 to us, 8 to them. On target, 11 to us, 3 to them. Off target, 5 to 3. Blocked, 3 to 2. Passing percentage, 90.3% to us. To them, 71.5%. Clear cut chances, 3 to 1. Corners, 8 to 3. Offsides, 4 to 1. Tackles, we put in quite a few, to be fair. 57.1 to us and 55.6 to them. Aerial duels, they were really good. I won't lie, we had a few corners. It is 60.9 to them, 39.1 to us. Saves, they had 8. Like, we had a lot of shots, you know. And obviously we had 1. Fouls committed, we had 6. They had 5. Fouls 1, 5. They have 4 yellow cards, and then they had 1 red card. Now, we were in decent form. Like, we had 2 wins and obviously the draw. They had one win from Everton, 3-0 loss to Brentford, and then a 2-2 draw to us. But look, end of the day, possession doesn't win you matches. Putting the goal in the back of the net does. It feels like a loss when it isn't. It's a 2-2 draw. But for us to be challenging for the league again and in the Champions League, we need to put these sort of games to bed and see them out and not give away silly goals like we did from kickoff, basically. Now, I don't want to blame Saka because I love the kid. Like, he's our best player by miles without Morales. But listen, with your star player doing that, it needs to be cut out. Like, whoever it is. Havertz, it's either, bro, you can't be trying to force a guy into the system when he doesn't fit the system. Like, play a Trossard there and see how that one goes, because Havertz, it looks like he doesn't know his best position when you're coming from a Chelsea. He's not a number 9, he's not a number 10, he's not a false 9, and he's not a winger. So where can you play him? Maybe an Odegaard is taking his shine because he looks like the unconventional player. Like, body language is all over the place, but he'll still pop up with something special. And in Arsenal colours, he hasn't done it yet. He's played the role where he's that free-flowing midfielder, if you will, box to box, and he sort of takes away attention from him, gives it to other players, and vice versa. Like, he'll bring in the attention and free up space for like a Declan Rice, Odegaard. We've spoken about it before. But is it effective in every single bloody game? Now, Arteta, it is for you to decide, but, we have to win games, man. And when you got a player that doesn't look like he can even pass a ball, and Trossard looks hungry, Eddie looks hungry, Jesus is back, you know what I mean? Like, we have to play our best 11 and best system. Odegaard, Rice, and Partey need to be in that midfield. There's no arguments there. Ben White shifts to right back, centre backs, Gabriel, Saliba, left back, probably a Zinchenko, I'd say, Tomiyasu, inverted left back, possibly. And then the wingers obviously speak for themselves. Saka, Martinelli, and then I'd stick a Jesus up there, possibly Eddie on current form. But yeah, it is what it is. We move on to the next one. It's United, a big game, biggest game of the season so far. It's going to tell a lot because they're not on form, but they're still getting some results. Obviously against Tottenham, different story for them. But, they came back, and fair play to them. They came back against Nottingham Forest. Was it a penalty against Rashford? From certain angles, yes. From certain angles, no. I'm not a referee. It's not my job. But they still got the 3 points, and that's that. Now, Liverpool game. I'm not going to put on the screen because, it is what it is. Amazing comeback by them. They had 10 men, Virgil van Dijk getting a red card, which basically was a red card. I think he was through and goal. I only watched the second half, so I can only speak for that. From what I saw, Newcastle were controlling it. They were too calm, if you will. And I think that was to their detriment. Like, Almiron, wow, what a player. Like, great chances, should have put a lot to bed. Alisson, I took you out of my fantasy league and you absolutely smashed it. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. But yeah, you had the game of your life. Trent, again, conceding chances, doing silly stuff at the back. He's not a defender, man. In my eyes, he's more of a centre mid, defensive mid. In my opinion, he's got a pass in him. Positional-wise, he's just not there, We've spoken about the City game, them sort of coming back from a draw to 2-1. Pep not being on the sidelines to sort of see it and I guess spur him on. Foden was out injured or ill, sorry. I think he had a bit of the bubble guts. He still came on, got an assist. Thanks for that. He's in my team. Akanji, I think, had the same thing. Maybe I had a dodgy curry. I don't know. Spurs smashed it. Honestly, Maddison is killing it. He looks like the talisman they needed last season. Imagine Kane and Maddison, that link up with Son, with Kulusevski. I'm glad Kane's gone. Let's just put it that way. They smashed Bournemouth to pieces. I think it was 3-0. Maddison looks like a great player. Looks like their target man. Looks like where the goals and assists are going to come from all season. Richarlison couldn't hit a barn door. But anyway, no other games really worth talking about in my opinion. I'm really concerned about. I mean, Chelsea, they were always going to turn over Luton. Raheem Sterling looks like the player of old at City. And I'm glad because he is a bloody good player. He's a frustrating player to watch. But in terms of like overall ability, for me, he's by far their best player. And I couldn't believe he's only like 28. Like, I think he's about 28, like, which is crazy. I thought he's at least 30, but he's not. He's a killer. Like, on his day, honestly, amazing to watch. But we're going to leave that there. In terms of where Arsenal are heading, go back to basics. Like a lot of pundits have said, stop trying to fix things that are not broken. Bring back Gabriel, and let's go from there. Let's just keep it simple. Like, we've got Rice to strengthen it all up. We've got the ability, probably second or third best starting 11 in the league. I mean, City on their day, crazy, but we shouldn't fear no one. And I think the fact that we don't fear no one might work against us just because we're overconfident, or Arteta's trying to overthink and tinker a bit too much. But yeah, that's where we're at the moment. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you think about Arsenal's performance down below. Should we have won that match? Shoulda, coulda, woulda. I know it's always the case with Arsenal, but you know, I feel a bit better talking about it, and I hope you guys do too. Leave all your comments down below. And of course, until the next episode, take care.